Who's
Countdown.
Oh yeah, the intro. Sorry.
Do the countdown.
So we're live.
Get ready for the intro.
5, 4,
Live.
3,
Live.
2, 1.
Out of heaven.
Assemble! Dun 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 dun.
Jesus Christ.
No blasphemy in here, lads.
So
I'm joking.
we're
Jesus Christ.
so this week we're gonna be talking about the chapter as usual, the group discussion for 855 of One Piece. We can kind of go through it, I guess, as we normally do, and then we'll just kind of talk about as we go through the chapter. So first of all, like, what would you guys kind of rate it overall?
This chapter?
I mean, like,
7.
7?
Give it like an 8-ish. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was really funny, dude. I laughed my ass off.
yeah, from a comedy standpoint, I think it was definitely a 10 out of 10. But like, if we look at progression for things that are going on right now, I would say leaned like 8.5 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, like I kind of like Dan said, bro. It was probably one of the funniest Brook chapters we've actually.
Oh yeah,
seen.
definitely.
Dude, not even
Oh,
just
yeah,
Brooks.
Brooks
One
is
of the
joker.
funniest chapters, period. Dude, it was funny since page 1. Just seeing
Yeah.
Bobin. Like, come on,
The
dude.
comedy of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I guess. Oh, go
And
ahead.
just setting it up because, like, now we know, like, even the night before the wedding, right? Like, they're still gonna be fighting all the way up till the wedding, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's a 7. I agree with Stebo. There's some good, like you guys said, it's funny, but there's some good stuff. There's some stuff that doesn't make sense, which we'll get to, I guess. So
So I guess we'll
Yeah.
start on the first page in the cover chapter. So I was dying, bro, when I just saw Lost face. 'Cause I completely kind of forgot about the whole fire thing in Coruscant, and I looked in the back and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"There's smoke," and I was dying, bro.
Bro, like,
Yeah.
no, I was gonna say, because like that was probably the funniest thing I saw from the chapter, like the very beginning. Like I turn it up and I just see like the guy's just like feeding the dog and stuff and doesn't even know it's like he's on fire. Like,
So when they go into the actual first page, so we get Bobin, which clearly he wasn't one shot as people were guessing last.
yeah, told you guys. People
we all-
believe in Bobbin.
I think that's kind of obvious. Is like he wasn't gonna get
Yeah.
down. So they basically they run in the room and like all the fodder people are asking Bobbin like what's going on, and I feel like it's kind of like I was dying because like his name they translated it this week as the Fixer, and last time it was like the Tinkerer. Like it's something along those lines of he fixes situations, and so being that as his moniker, he like puts everyone to sleep, which I assume that's his devil fruit power. Like, what do you guys think?
I think it's some kind of hypnotizing stuff.
Yeah.
But do you think it's his devil fruit, or do you think it's like a passive like of his race?
Dude, I'm not sure.
Do you guys remember Django?
Yeah, 1-2 Django.
Yeah.
could be something like that.
Could
I don't
be.
know, because if you think about it, like the way Bobbin moves is like the bubble heads.
That's
and
why I
maybe
thought
that's
too
kind
right
of
away when I saw
yeah.
that. That's what it
Like
reminded
he's
me of.
hypnotizing people with just his little wobble he does.
And the fact
which I
that it's
think is
saying
pretty
boing,
cool.
boing, 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 like over and over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kinda
yeah,
hints at it.
exactly.
So I
But
thought
I don't think that's his main power though. That's what I was saying.
I
So I
don't
think
want
with
it to be a
that-
devil fruit.
I think it's gonna have to be his devil fruit in the sense that like we've seen
Right.
other people look like him that I don't think they're gonna have it, but this is Big Mom's territory, so you never know. Going on to the next page. So we literally have him basically telling everyone to like go to sleep, stand down. He's gonna take care of himself. Now I like the fact that like they showed Sanji obviously running to Luffy, but they show Lily Bobbin kind of bringing back up the sense that, like when Big Mom requests someone to go to the tea party, there is no saying no. Like no matter who you are, like even Hell's Demons, which I thought was so
Yeah.
cool right away.
Yeah.
But even Hell's Demons like are requested to go, and so you see Bobbin literally chasing after Sanji. This is something I'll talk about later at the end of the chapter that I thought was going to happen for next week's. So just stop me if you guys want to like as we go.
Yeah, I was gonna mention. What do you guys think about Bobbin's bounty?
I mean, I kind of talk about it now because I was kind of waiting to say this, but like, I think the 105, like initially when I read it, I was kind of disappointed, but I think I have a better analysis as to why I made the bounties like that. Because like, if we look at like Cracker and we look at like Smoothie, they range around between like 800 million to a billion at least, right? So, and these guys for sure have like stepped off Whole Cake Island and caused trouble to gain that amount. And I'm thinking to myself, when we heard about Bobin's how he like burned that entire like islands or whatever it was because it didn't have sweets, I'm thinking to myself, what if he was like the kids who never stepped foot out of the island, was always there the entire time and never had a bounty to begin with, and only got that bounty recently because of the events that happened during Fishman Island?
I was thinking one of the
Yeah, that's
reasons he
my
had a
thoughts
little bounty,
exactly. To be honest, I agree.
like kind of like I thought he had a little. The reason I was thinking he might have a little bounty is because of the hypnotizing thing. Like his when he gets introduced, it's Bobin the Fixer,
Right.
right? And it's just like he's the one that's going in like assassin type status. Like no one knows about him. He's just in the background handling stuff for Big Mom.
And, like,
You
if
know what I
you've
mean?
seen him, he's
So like,
never noticed. That was
like
big.
literally when the people like it literally says like, oh Lord Bobbin, and then he just puts them to sleep. You know what I mean?
Like he's always been the one, like Dan was saying, it's like, you know, Fishman Island. He did it when they were in the cage with Nami and Luffy. Like he was staying away from everyone else. He's kind of like a lone wolf. So like it could be a situation kind of like how Cracker, like no one outside like of his home territory knew what he even looked like. Like the sense that he was always in his armor. It could be something along those lines of like he, because like for instance, like Oda even said like bounties don't reflect your strength at all. Like someone with a low bounty, kind of like the Shichibukai, like how they had their bounties like froze, right? Like some of them had super low bounties, but they were super strong. Like they were stronger than people equivalent to their bounties at the time. And so I feel like it's gonna be a situation like that where like I still think he's gonna get beat by Sanji now, but like I still think he's gonna be very strong.
I mean, like,
I don't know.
What do you think about the ability though itself? Like, you know, because I'm thinking like to myself, like when the first time I saw it, I was hoping it wouldn't be like the siren ability that like you know Lafitte's rumored to have, but then because it's like a bobbing effect, I'm like, what has a bobbing effect that could put someone to sleep?
I mean, like you said, it's like kind of the Django fight. I really think it's just gonna be like a bobblehead fruit or something along those lines. Like there was I forget what it was called, but there's like some dolls that like used to be a big thing that people thought Bobin's power was gonna be based off of. Because like their whole thing was like it was like a nursery rhyme that put kids to sleep, and like it could be something like that.
Yeah.
But you know, like it didn't look like it was anything sound related. It looked like it was just like appearance related in the sense that like whatever he did itself was what put them to sleep. Which I think it was his devil fruit. I think it's gonna be like a permission.
But I don't think that's going to be the only thing it could do if it is.
Oh no,
the
yeah,
devil
clearly
fruit.
not.
You know, that's like one of the many things, and that's just why it's so OP, and like why he's called the Fixer, because like that's like one of his basic things, and it's just like the fact that he puts people to sleep, like bro, like literally you could kill any of those people. You know what I mean? Like if it works on them, like OP.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
apparently
guys,
Bobbins might be a homie.
No.
Nah, I don't think
Really?
it's
What makes you say that?
We've seen other people look just like him.
There was one, the guy sleeping in Sanji's bed looked like Bobbin. Like at first I thought that was Bobbin without his mask for a
We've
second.
seen many people look like Bobin. The girl that was around the table, someone.
It's a Big Mom Pirate Soldier Bishop. It has Bishop in parentheses.
Right,
You know,
but
she got the
Cracker,
chess pieces.
Cracker was a knight though, and bishops are equivalent to knights. Cracker was a biscuit knight.
I think he's a homie actually.
No, but don't you think
I would be
you
saying
can just be
Cracker's a homie, too.
from you can be from a certain race of people? Like he just looks.
Yeah, but
like
Cracker don't look like.
Yeah, it's the
Cracker
thing.
don't look.
Oh,
Cracker don't look deformed. Bobbins doesn't
No, I'm
look
talking
natural
about
at all.
Bobin. I'm talking about Bobin though. I'm not talking about Cracker.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it makes sense for Bobbins to be a homie because he don't even look normal.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's not my point. My point is like there's a race of people that look like that, and Bobin just happens to be one of them, but he's just a bit strong in it.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, let's go on. We'll save it for later. All right, so the next page, you know, we go back to where he's where like the entire crew is like kind of grouped together in the mirror world. And they're outside Big Mom's bedroom and they're looking at it, and then you literally just see Big Mom fucking holding Brook like a doll and like sleeping on him. And I'm not gonna lie, it was super fun. This is where the comedy really kicks off because like it was just fun to see everything else, like all the other homies just sleeping around to them and stuff like that, and how she's content. Like the thing is that people still forget is this is Big Mom. There are invaders in a sense on her island, like Luffy and all these other people, but she doesn't give a shit. Like they're so small to her that she's just sleeping. She knows it's one of the crew members of like Luffy's group, but she doesn't even care.
She mistook them for a fly.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing too, because I don't know if you guys noticed, but there was like an actual fly like roaming the room and stuff.
Yeah.
So like that's what Big Mom was referring to. And then eventually they all became the fly after to her.
Yep. That's the thing. Is like they're so small. Like,
yeah. If you,
anyway, so
yeah, there's like a tiny little fly too. Yeah.
How did you guys feel about Brûlée with that like smirky look?
Yelling out.
Yeah, at first I thought she was actually gonna do something kind of cool, but then literally she just screamed for help. That's Chopper's face, bro.
I mean, fuck Brûlée.
But I mean, dude, if Big Mom had woken up,
Oh, dude, it was over. Even if they're in the mirror world, like I still think
Like,
like Heavenly Fire guys, like bro, that thing probably destroyed the mirror. With
and
them,
then you literally see in the next page where like Big Mom's like her demonized, bro, and she's like she spotted us.
yeah,
And the little fly.
But it was a fly.
For a
Yeah.
little fly though, she literally smashed like the entire table, like the entire ground, like everything.
yeah,
And like people forget like this is even though it's made of candy and crackers, like look at how strong the biscuits were that like Cracker made. So these aren't like normal houses. These are like made of very, very strong materials. Kind of like how in the One Piece world, wax is equivalent to steel. Stuff like that. So it's and like we got the candy jacket bullets.
That's why I say Sanji taking down that wall. That's a
big
lot more
feat.
impressive than people make it out to be.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I was gonna say as well,
waking up.
like it shows that people are underestimating like Big Mom's actual strength.
Oh, for
in
sure.
terms
After
of
this
just
chapter, I
physical.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
Like,
they're still
she's
going
mad
to, dude. I'm
strong.
sorry. Talk to some people and like they're just
Oh no, for sure. But they feel that like they still
gonna
like,
downplay
give
it, dude.
Sanji his credit.
yeah.
I mean, it's like, dude, if she's doing this in her sleep, could you imagine what she can do when she's actually trying? Like, people forget this is a Yonko. This is like a tier just below the Pirate King.
Exactly.
So going to the next page, then we see like literally all of her homies, and then you see the Napoleon sword come out of the Napoleon bicorn hat, and I love it because like it's literally them going super crazy because like Big Mom. It's kind of like how dogs do that, like when their owners are in trouble.
Yeah.
They kind of like go to the rescue, and like you literally see them going super sick and trying to like go all out against what supposedly is like a fly in the room because they thought it was attacking Mom. And then the next panel, they're literally sleeping, and then you die because you literally see the straw hats. And Jinbei of like his like a normal looking face, but all the other straw hats and like Carrot and Pedro, they're like holy fuck. Like
Jinbei is unfazed.
No, he knows.
Yeah, like he's just like
knows. Got the
gabbing
look.
there, like gabbing there, bro.
Yep, and so I love the fact that like they even kind of say like, which is it's half a joke, but they were kind of being serious in the sense that like there was no way that they're gonna say Brook in their minds at that point from what they just like saw. And so I thought that was really kind of like a cool thing for the people that like do downplay Big Mom being like physically strong and just strong in general. And then we go to the next page. Like I said, stop me if you guys like see anything crazy. So this is the page that I was going to talk to you guys about. So if you remember back in Big Mom's, right? Or sorry, not, back in Sanji's flashback as a child, when he's bringing the basket as a kid through the rainstorm to his mom, there was the same type of dog. Like obviously it's not the same dog.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of like a cool reference, and the fact that like Sanji was, as a child doing everything he could to like make his mom happy and stuff like that. And then you literally see the same scenario with Luffy, which kind of reflects that like he sees Luffy as kind of not like a parent figure, but like someone of equivalent value to him, someone that is a family member above all else. And I literally just thought it was funny because you see the dog like going sick trying to steal the food.
Yeah, I was expecting Sanji to kick him like.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I know this is a bit weird, but what do you guys think about it? Like, because it keeps raining and stopping and raining again. Like from the last, I think
it's because
the chap.
Sorry, I think it's because her feelings, like how she's feeling Big Mom itself, because all the weather is controlled from what we know by her directly. And so I kind of felt it was something along those lines of like when she woke up, like it starts like raining, going crazy again because she was irritated. But like when she's happy, it's not. So I think it like reflects off her personality, which again in itself is a huge feat because if you control the weather, even if it's just on one island, that's pretty big.
Yeah, that's super OP to be honest.
Dude, it's an island level attack. Like,
Yeah.
just be serious.
Yeah.
Let's be serious.
And then going back, so we see that they kind of like rummage together from the kitchen and the executioner chambers a fucking Brook figure.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. I'm not gonna like, because at first I looked at it, I was like, "What the hell is that?" Because I was like, "That looks a lot like Brook." And then like they were like, "Yeah, that's gonna be Brook," basically like as a substitute, right? And so then the next page, we literally see Chopper literally going in, and then he sneezes. And then you literally see all like hell break loose again, and then you see Carrot and Nami's faces, which were fucking hilarious. Chopper almost just died. Because like,
Jinbei's still interested.
Like a random thing is, do you guys think like if Chopper did get hit by that attack, do you think he's getting taken out? Because I kind of feel like he actually would.
Oh yeah, of course.
Of course.
Like not death, but he'd be knocked out.
Yeah,
at least critically injured, something like that.
Yeah, critically injured. Yeah, I agree with that.
Because if you think about it, it's like if a fly's like bothering you, right? You want to smack that shit with like the hand of God, and for sure, like Big Mom has the power of like the hand of God just when she's sleeping. So poor Chopper like comes in the way of that. Like he's getting blasted.
But the thing that's starting to piss me off is like, what the fuck, man? Whitebeard, who was fucking ill, was like defending himself from Ace when he was sleeping and shit. Like, and Big Mom can't tell that fucking Chopper's in the room. Like, it's starting to become annoying. This whole observation hockey thing's just gone like.
I mean, to
nowhere.
her, it's just a fly, man. Like,
cause Big Mom weak.
I don't know.
I mean, remember, she said that Luffy's like a grain of sand, like in like the desert. Like, well, imagine what the other guys are.
Okay, Chopper I can understand, but when everyone else jumps in, I'm sure it's kind of like, nah, come on, like, like
Dude, she
there's
loves
not
her
that many
sleep,
flies in the room. Oh, come on, man. There's no justifying this nonsense. But
It's ridiculous to me. That's why I gave chapter a 7.
I mean,
like, I remember going into like we're looking back afterwards, and I was looking at Kirikon's reaction. I remember seeing like Big Mom's hat that she's wearing. It kind of resembles the same hat that King Yensid has in Kingdom Hearts. Like, I thought that was pretty funny. It's like she's a Kingdom Hearts fan. Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to the next page. So we go to Carrot, which I thought of all people, I feel like Pedro would be the best at this, and then Carrot would probably be the second best because Pedro's literally like the stealthy ninja of the crew right now. And so challenge 2, we get Lily Carrot like one shot jumping up to fucking Brook, and she tries to get him to wake up. And you just see Big Mom, like her bubble of like snore literally like, almost killed Carrot. Then you literally see like the sleeping homies try to kill her as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we go to challenge 3, which, like I said, I thought Pedro of all people should be able to do it, and he got pretty damn close again. But then she later just starts like
wedding
tossing
cake.
Yep. Yep.
Just for her regularly sleeping.
Say that's another thing. Like people still don't get like the wedding cake of everything else is the most important to her from what I see, and the fact that she's talking about it in her sleep should reinforce that fact. And then we get to the next part, and then obviously Nami, who comes in clutch, Lily gets to Brook, shows him the fucking.
This is the part I love the most.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I love this part the most. He gets scared and almost fucked it up himself. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like what you guys think of Lily when you saw that? It's like he just screamed.
I started dying.
He's like a ghost. So I'm just like, what the hell, Brook?
I literally started dying.
And then like the funny thing is like at the panel right afterwards, I didn't notice this, but Big Mom's actually grabbing Prometheus, like in her fit of rage. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I thought she was just getting up, and no, she's actually pulling like this.
Oh yeah, she is grabbing him.
You know? Yeah.
Like,
that's crazy.
Side note, I was going to mention something I forgot to talk about earlier. So when we first see Big Mom swine the fly, like, did you guys see the little panel where like Brook's like, "What in the hell is happening?" And then he goes like, "Oh, it's just a fly."
He goes back.
He goes back to sleep. That's my funny. Yeah, that's the funniest part of the whole chapter to me. That was so funny.
But yeah, so then we get Nami. She lays saves, Brook grabs him, and then Jinbei, of course, coming in the clutch.
Have to save everyone for real.
The heavenly fire, like Law said earlier.
Yeah.
And then they get away.
That kind of freaked me out because it looked like she was like the way the panel looks. It looks like she's awake, like in a weird way. Like it doesn't look like she's on her bed. Like she's doing it right. So
that's pretty crazy. That's the first time we ever heard. Like I think it was the first time we ever heard her actually use like a named attack thus far. Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
I was surprised too.
And then like for people that like don't really know like fairy tale stories, like this clearly was a reference to Jack and the Giant Beanstalk when they're trying to save the princess in the jar, and the giant's like sleeping, and they're trying to like be super quiet when he's in the kitchen.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of like what they're referencing. Alright, so then they get saved, and then we have basically everyone but Luffy and Sanji saved, and they're going to do their planning for finding out where Sanji's going to be and stuff like that. And we go to the kind of like the remains, the leftovers of where Luffy promised to meet Bobin's. And then you see like the leftovers of like the fodder and shit like that. You see King Bomb in the background, lay split in half. And so I'm assuming he's dead, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I think he's dead.
And then one thing I noticed, if you guys look, so where it says like the Ha bubble on the very left, look in the upper left, there's a mountain of what looks like cake cream, like whipped cream, laid just like sleeping. So, like we see the island itself is alive, which is kind of cool. which probably will come back later, Indiana Jones style, when they try to like outrun the entire island.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was also
but-
thinking too, like looking back when he was picking up the soldier and stuff when he was moving around, like the last one he picked up. I thought that was Luffy for a sec. You look at the hairstyle.
Yeah,
I
I was
thought it
literally
was,
about to
too.
say that.
He's like, what the hell?
Yeah, I
And
was
he's
like-
just looking around after. I'm like, wait, what the hell?
I think that's
Yeah.
why he picked him up.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, "Is this you?" No.
And you have Nasu, the fucking guy sleeping in Sanji's bed.
Yeah.
And basically Sanji looking around for Luffy, like you just said, kind of remind me of the Kyokai moment.
Oh yeah.
And then we get to the next panel. We're back in the mirror world, and so they're basically talking to Brook about the ghost supposedly that he saw.
Yeah.
And Nami's like saying like, "Oh, you almost killed us off" and shit like that.
Yeah.
This is, I'm not gonna lie, I was dying because this is probably my favorite part of the entire
Yes,
chapter.
definitely.
In the sense that like there were doubters of the joke that I made a while back ago, which was that through the bark we see Brook take out a tea set out of his hat, like of his skull.
Oh yeah.
And people were asking like Nami and I think it was Nami and Chopper asked him like, how the hell can you do that? And he's like, oh, it's because I'm dead, yo ho ho, and shit like that.
Yeah.
And this
That's
Oda
basically-
literally never. Yep, Oda never ever puts anything in there that's not going to be a foreshadow, even small things like that. So that just
Yeah.
like reinforce how godly Oda is.
Mhm.
And so then you see him, and there's everyone else besides Brook is literally talking about like basically like how like, oh well, we failed the mission, but even if we came back like to the island to try to steal it, it would have to be a full scale pirate war, as they say.
Yeah.
And so like there's like for the people that think that they could literally just leave and come back and get it later, no, like they even say it
Nah,
here,
yeah.
that's impossible. But I
Yeah.
love how
And it. I want to say because to me it also kind of foreshadows that if we were gonna, we'd probably end up going to face her again. Because like I said, like in the last discussion or discussion before, how I said like Napoleon equals like Big Mom, and obviously if that's when she actually falls, I think now to me like it makes more sense that like she'll be the third Yonko to actually fall.
yeah, because like if they have to go to full scale war, which is what they're gonna do with Wano, like it's gonna have to be later. It's not like there's no way she should get taken down this arc. Is how I see it.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like it's not even going to be at the island because now they don't even have to go back there because they have the maps. So
Yeah,
it's just,
yeah. It's like Big Mom has to go to them pretty much.
exactly. Because now
Um,
they're one step ahead of her.
yeah. And
Right.
so then we see basically like everyone was questioning Brook, and then Brook literally is telling them like, you know, there was literally no way we could have normally got it, but I'm the best. And then you literally see him casually say like, oh yeah, here you are. Here's the rubbing of the poneglyph, and then you see the three faces of Carrot, Chopper, and Nami
Yeah.
that died. Literally,
Wow.
Yeah. Like Nami's face, like when she makes a face like that, man, like that's how you know it's like.
and like this is like this. Oh, go ahead.
Even Pedro, I was gonna say, even Pedro's face
Yeah.
is funniest to me because he never reacts
Yeah.
like that usually, and he just like, oh.
I like Carrot the most because Carrot definitely doesn't understand. You know, like Nami and Chopper should have been like, all right, like it's Brook, but like Carrot had no clue,
Yeah.
so she's like, the goat. You know,
You know, like we know who this
Yeah.
what?
That's the thing. Like when we first got in the arc, right? The whole point of Brook going was like he was the stealth ninja of the crew of what we had,
Yeah,
and so this should reinforce again the fact that he is a goat. Like the fact that
Yeah.
he acts as if this was like he wasn't like gloating, because like if this was anyone else, they'd probably be gloating about it. But the fact that he's just like, oh yeah, like let me keep talking to like Pedro about my escapades and like how I did this, and then they literally look at it, and you see all three poneglyphs like captured.
Mm-hmm.
Which I
Yeah.
love. So, like, not only did he get the red poneglyph, but it seems like he got the other two as well.
Yeah, I think he got
Yeah,
all
no.
of them.
They got them
Because it
all.
would
No,
make
he
sense.
did.
It's like, oh, he took
got
one. He
four
had took
sides,
everything.
He got all four sides. You know.
So I love it of like how he got it, and just the
Yeah.
fact that like literally even now like they're all like crazy, because this is something that like Kaido or like Shanks or Blackbeard, from what we know, I doubt Shanks so much, but like the other two, like Kaido, Blackbeard, would go to war if they could.
For
Like
that.
Yeah.
this is worth the most. Like from what we know, besides the One Piece itself, this is worth the most in the entire world.
This is how you get to the One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just as valuable.
Yeah.
almost.
But yeah, then literally just like afterwards, you see Brule, and then I call him Vin Diesel.
Of Vin Diesel.
But then you see how like even they are like these grains of sand who we were talking crap about the entire time, literally pulled off the impossible.
Yep.
This was guarded by like Smoothie and Tamago and all these other like captain level people. Like
And they know.
like it's impossible.
Yeah, this
but-
is their win moment.
Exactly. Like
But
for
to
me,
me,
like
it's-
if anything, this confirms like Brook to me as the MVP of like the Straw Hats on Whole Cook
Yeah.
Island.
Oh yeah.
Like Like, you know, like to pull like this is like not like something like, oh, I can just give to like Chopper to go do. No, you needed like someone like Brook to pull it off, and the fact that he did, like they said, like you got by the commanders with the
He literally
Yonko.
went on Mission Impossible. You know what
like,
I mean?
Like I called it like
It
Metal Gear
wasn't that
Brook.
hard.
I called it Metal Gear Brook. You know,
like how Thriller Bark, how far he got into Thriller Bark before being noticed.
Yeah, like I was saying before, like it's Metal Gear Brook. Literally, like he was Solid Snake. He went in there, did his job, and that was it.
Yep.
I mean,
Just because it looks easy doesn't mean it was
don't
easy.
say Solid Snake's name in vain, please.
Dude, bro, like
It wasn't difficult.
It was difficult. It was difficult, but it wasn't like, you know.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean it wasn't difficult? It's Yonko, Commanders. If there was any other character to be blitzed.
I think
Well, the Yonko commander walked out of the room and locked herself out.
Yeah, but that's an ally.
That's kind of funny.
It looks easy.
Hence the reason that I say it wasn't very difficult.
No, fighting off Big Mom's crew.
But here's the thing: it's Big Mom though, man. Like,
yeah,
it's a Yonko.
Also fighting off her crew though, in general, like 1v the crew that were in that room. You know what I mean?
It's like after what we've seen her doing in her sleep, like even then, that's still a feat. Like she didn't have to lift up a finger to do anything, and that's still amazing.
Personally, Big Mom herself, the fodder that Smoothie left in that room was nothing to Brook.
But the point is, he would have died. Like the fact
Dude,
that he
you're
hit
saying
the poneglyph stuff in the head.
Crew, though.
No, but I mean, like the fact that he had to hide the stuff in his head because Big Mom like checked him all over before when they caught him means that if they found it on him, the poneglyphs rubbings, he would have been dead.
No, that's the thing because
they didn't know. That's how smart he was. Because
that's
the thing about it. Like, who's gonna open up a guy's head or whatever? Like, oh, let me see if they have my stuff in their head. Like, what do you mean? Like,
that's why like we have to disagree with you, Stebo, because it come like no one else could have done that. No one else.
That's why I would have made it Brook. What do you mean?
Yeah,
that's why Pedro's like we lost.
Brook
Everybody was like, nice try.
Like Brook could have been the one to like be the decoy, you know, but no. Pedro couldn't do it. You know what I mean?
His plan from the begin with.
Exactly.
But yeah,
he was just like, I need you to be a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys feel about the common Brook question to Nami about her panties?
I had to get
it this time. He
gave it up.
Like Nami took an L, man. She should have just done it for the homie.
He literally looks so like happy with himself. Like, this is the time. Like,
the twinkle in his eye. He's like, I accomplished this. Yes.
Yeah. The fact though is, I think Robin's gonna do it. I actually think
that's what I was thinking. Like, if you imagine what their faces were like now, Robin, like the poneglyph freak that she is, like, dude, she dropped him in a sec.
Like, this is a red one, bro. Like, okay.
I can already see it. Like, he's gonna get on the Den Mushi. He's gonna be all happy and shit. He's like, hey, look what I did. Like, you know, he's gonna talk that game on the Den Mushi. You know. Yeah, I'll be weighing a one. Oh yeah.
And by the way, guys, do you think that as DGK calls him Vin Diesel, do you think I reckon these two, one of them's gonna get away now because it seems like they're kind of like they're gonna have to tell about the poneglyph straight away?
This is what I think. They need Brule, so she can't get away.
Like it's Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel,
but he can't get out without Brule though. That's the thing, you know.
He'll be trapped in that world.
Yeah,
but you can get out without her. You just can't come in. The official translation cleared that up.
No, you can't get out.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can. The official translation says you just can't get in.
Yeah, so she has to be at the gate, like in between the gateway, and you have to touch.
Exactly. She has to, exactly. You have to touch her and then go through the mirror. That's the thing.
That's how they were doing it before.
Yeah, but then as long as she touches it, you should be fine.
Like, yeah, you have to. Like, you can't. This is the thing. Like, she can't be in a mirror, and then you're like 100 feet away from her, and then you're accessing that mirror.
Because then why wouldn't Carrot have got out earlier when they were trapped in the
That's
mirror?
why they were stuck, you know, and they were like just pressing up against the mirror. Like, you need to touch her in order to go through, but when you do touch her, it's like you can freely go through, you know? That's the whole thing against her. That's why they have her tied up, because they're like, we don't need you to like do anything. We just need to touch you, and like we can use your whole ability against you.
Yeah. So
she's gonna be like their way out. They're gonna just teleport right back to the ship.
Exactly, bro.
And be out.
They're gonna be like, where is everything?
Smash it, re out.
And the hard part now is there's supposedly, I would assume, there's no mirrors where Sanji's at.
Yeah, he's in like an open battlefield simply. So
yeah. So I highly doubt there can be any mirror. And then so then we're going to that, and then we see where Sanji literally sees Luffy as a mummy Blade just dying after he's growling.
Yeah.
It's like funny. It's initially when I
looks-
saw it the first time, I'm like, damn. And then reading the second time and stuff, and especially when you pay attention to like it's raining, like covering like Sanji's tears and stuff, the snot and stuff, like just the little things like that. Like it made you think like, damn. And like we know next week it's gonna be really impactful.
Did anyone notice how the scar is now below him from his side cheek to below his lip?
Yeah, because of how much like he
Yeah.
had like how long he went without eating. Like that's like shows like hunger pain,
Oh,
man.
it is.
And it's crazy because it's like if you look like how much time
That's
technically has
fucking
passed,
crazy.
because usually that's something would happen like in a few days. You know what I mean? Like if you go a few days without eating, or at least like a month.
Yeah, but this
So
is
to
Luffy,
him,
bro.
it's
He
like
needs it.
yeah, that's what I mean. That's how crazy it is. Like this guy who has to eat legit, and anytime he gets food, like he has to. So for him to go even an hour, it's like, bro.
And then obviously, like I was gonna say earlier when I was talking about Bobin, is I feel like Bobin's gonna come right behind him now, and then Luffy's gonna have to like be completely out of the fight still, and then Sanji's
Yeah.
probably gonna have to fight Bobin and
Yeah,
shit like that. So I'm waiting for that to happen. Like Sanji's going to go super clutch and like take out Bobin now.
Do you guys remember what I said 3 chapters ago?
Said what?
Said like when they were calling the ministers, I said like probably Sanji's gonna fight the minister.
Yeah.
I mean,
But yeah,
Bobin's a bishop though. That's the thing. Is he a minister or like?
he's still a minister.
Mm.
Because like other ministers would be like Sparrow and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, of course.
Who do you think's gonna win?
Oh, Sanji.
I'm so
Sanji has to
torn.
win
That's
that
the thing,
fight.
he has
I'm
to
so
win.
Because the
torn.
thing is, it's like, look, it's like he destroyed an island. That's like one thing, whatever. But like, especially from the kick, and I don't know, it's like a base kick only. But I think just because like now Sanji has free reign, he doesn't have to worry about things. Since like everything is legit in the Straw Hats like way right now. All they gotta do is meet up and escape.
The
You
thing
know,
is,
so
if
I
Sanji's
feel like
going.
he's gonna lose.
oh, you're garbage.
I'm
I don't think
I'm
so.
not like a lose,
I'm
but I feel like
50-50,
it's. I feel like the whole thing he says, like I'm the fixer.
Oh,
Like, he's going to make it happen.
He shouldn't lose though.
Like
I
how I
think
see it
that-
is like they're about to give him the food. Like he can barely move. He gets like swapped up real quick, like taken.
Of
and
all the
then he's
fights
just
that
got,
we're
like-
gonna get, like Brook, can we agree that below the actual commanders, this guy should be the strongest, right? From what
Yeah,
we've
at
seen.
least. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think he
Yeah.
is.
So-
To me, he is.
So because like people are like, oh, like if Luffy can't beat Cracker, fair enough, right? He's the third strongest. Snack was probably the fourth, but then if this guy's below that, right? I feel like Sanji of all times has to get a W now. Like
Yeah.
if he
Yeah,
does
I
lose
agree.
on the 1v1, I'm done. Like that would be the stupidest thing that
Yeah.
like, Oda could ever do.
Yeah,
But
and
I
then
don't
what?
feel like
Then
it's gonna
Zoro's just gonna
be-
get crazy feats in Wano, and then like what? Sanji's gonna be the dazzle and distress and shit. Like you can't have that. They're fighters. They gotta get their own selective W's.
He cannot have
I'm
another L. No. for sure.
Yeah.
And even then, it's
I'm
like
so
it's the thing is like I don't see it as L's. It's just like these are wins that hold no like because it's like Zoro. Like you can compare like the fights that Sanji's had. Everyone will say like Zoro's fights seem a lot more impressive than what Sanji's had.
But Sanji's had harder fights though. Like
I mean, yeah, harder
Luffy,
fights, but in terms of the actual win itself
Virgo.
and stuff, people always look back at what was like
Yeah, the
Zoro's.
wins, the W's. Yeah, but
No,
I'm 50.
Do you think he's gonna solo it? Like you don't think like
He has to solo it.
He has
you
to
don't think
solo it.
Luffy's gonna hop in?
No, because
Dude,
Luffy's
nah,
not.
Nah,
it goes back to
Luffy's gonna
this.
hop in.
If
Nah.
Brook was able to go at least not win, like do anything, but at least to keep up with a Yonko, I'm sorry, Sanji, who's considered the third strongest, has to be able to take out this guy.
I think that the turnaround will be from this point that the wins will be for Sanji instead of the losses he has from the past.
Yeah, like Sanji of all people, if he's the third strongest of the crew, he technically really hasn't got a win yet. Like he has to get one at that moment because I don't think Luffy's gonna get fed the food right away. I think because Bobin, from what we saw, Bobin was right behind Sanji.
Yeah.
He was running right behind him. So like he's gonna get there before Sanji probably can like give Luffy the food, which will kind of like put Luffy out of the fight for a plot point, and then it will allow like Sanji to have to like clutch and do it to Bobbins, which again, that's a big feat if he does take down Bobbins because Bobbins is still a very strong person.
Yeah, like he's the closest to commander,
what-
and that's an amazing feat there for Sanji at least.
I wish it was someone like.
So what do you
Capone.
think? The
Okay,
wedding's
I'm
not
just
gonna
being
happen?
biased.
Wait, what?
So then you think the wedding's not gonna happen? Like where do you think it's
Yeah,
gonna
it's basically-
Here's the thing. I could see Sanji winning, but at the same time, we'll see probably Katakuri come clean up the mess, and that's how we'll still have the wedding. Because at this point, it's escape right now, and for it to work out the wedding and stuff, Katakuri has to show up and do something.
I don't. This is hard.
No, I don't
because
think
really
we're gonna see
Bobbins
Katakuri that
is
soon.
strong. No, we have to, like, to be honest.
For the
we
wedding
have
to happen, they need the strongest. And if Katakuri is the number one, he has to be able to, like, hold everything together.
Okay, but I think he's still at the cake, and he cannot go from there.
Yeah, I think Katakuri is someone's got to be guarding the cake because this is almost as important as the treasure room to her. Like at this moment, like I feel like it goes wedding cake and then everything else.
So like, let's say they're not Katakuri, but maybe Capone would somehow come into this. Like,
I'd prefer him fighting Capone than Bobin, to be honest. That's because I just like Bobin, though.
I wouldn't mind that either, but I think he should have to fight Bobin. This is how I feel. Because like it doesn't make sense for why he wouldn't at this moment. Because you like just kick Bobin in the face, like
exactly.
True, yeah.
Like Bobin's not gonna let him go.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I think that obviously they're definitely gonna fight, but I think that can't be Sanji's last fight for this arc. It has to have a bigger fight.
We're just saying that.
The downside to what Bobin's going to do is he's going to have to like somehow not kill him again, which is going to be another nerf to the character because they had the wedding still.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well,
I mean,
still mad as fuck.
If anything, if we don't see him winning the fight, I could see someone stopping the fight at the very least.
I think Pound needs to come back soon. Like I was waiting for him to show up randomly. And like
he's probably gonna show up at the wedding. Yeah. Like he has an invite and he's like,
he's just singing
gotta go.
Yeah.
He's just falling out of the sky.
He's got his apple juice in hand, ready to go.
What do you guys would think? Let's say, for example, like Capone does show up to like interrupt the fight, and he has like Zeph hostage, like how people keep saying like he's gonna be on the island, which I think is the case, and he has him at gunpoint. He's like, try anything else, and I'm blowing his brains out right here and now.
I don't know. Like I don't know how I feel about Zeph being on the island. It makes sense, but like what would happen after? Like do they just escort him back to the East Blue? Like I personally think that Jin, of all people, is going to be like waiting, like at the island. Like it could even be something along the lines of like they're going to send someone if Sanji doesn't do it, so they like might not even have people in place yet. So, like if they somehow like do what they're going to do and Big Mom doesn't send them, then like all fine.
But I don't think even that he will be having Seth, because the thing is he's spending something on his own for Big Mom. And why would he need Seth? It's only for Sanji. It's not for planning against Big Mom,
Yeah.
But maybe he needs, for example, like for his plan to work, he might has to get Sanji to go to the wedding, essentially, because that's why everything's set up. Maybe for his betrayal.
Probably so, because there's no wedding without Sanji.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't. That could be why.
Yeah. So like for anything, they have to like try and get him back, whatever, hold him hostage. And the only way I can see this logically happening, it has to be Zev. Because if it's his parent, like like Judge or like his sister, maybe Reiju. Like if they were to hold her back or something, then maybe. But like aside from like Reiju or at least Zev, there should be nothing that's gonna make him want to stop.
And by the way, guys, what do you think about how Big Mom's gonna react to the now dead skeleton, not Brook anymore?
I think at first she won't notice, but she will after a bit. I think.
Yeah. Because like she should be flipping out, to be honest.
But Brook hasn't, like, if you look at it, Brook has never like moved or like said anything yet. She knows he's alive. Don't get me wrong, but like she doesn't know like what's going on with him. So like if he hasn't done shit before,
like, oh, I see you're still scared.
Yeah,
she gotta notice.
Like, she's gonna be.
She gotta notice.
It's either that or she. Oh no, the fly was you.
She gotta be able to sense it.
Eventually.
She gotta be able to sense it.
You would think, like, when has observation hockey ever become a thing now? Like,
no. I think she's holding him. I think she's holding him, and then the hair falls off.
Yeah, something like that would be funny. Yeah.
Would it be too crazy to say that she may know what's going on? Like she's like 10 steps ahead, like a certain character.
I hope so. That would make sense.
I hope so.
The thing is, like, a Yonko can't be this gullible. And obviously, like, we know like what her personality is like. But like, dude, after hearing the stuff she was saying to put in the last chapter, like, I can't see her being like goofy, whatever, like, making a slip up like this. Like she must be like baiting these guys and know like she already has in the palm of her hands.
I agree with you to a point, but I don't think she like originally I always thought she was gonna like at the end of the arc like I know what was going on all along. But, like certain things like this at this exact moment, I don't think she should know. Like
okay.
Because like
think, like
Oda's writing it that way.
I think she should know about the mirror world though, at least. Because I think this is too weird. Like they haven't seen Brûlé
kind of,
in like a couple of days and stuff. Like
it's only been like a day though. That's the thing. Like for
about a
instance,
day,
like the whole thing is because of the lack of info in terms of like, for instance, her and Eric normally is good because you know why? Because like no one's afraid of like telling her correct info. But now like people like Opera, like we saw, he's not telling her that he lost, like he got one shot by Jinbei.
Yeah.
Therefore, everyone else does not know what's going on. Montior is the only one that's still kind of like worried. He's like, okay, like clearly Opera's lying to us, so I'm gonna like have someone tell him in a sense. So like the fact that normally there are information that works properly, but now that we have people that don't want to die, which makes sense, like, and they're not telling her what's going on really, she thinks everything's going really well.
You would think that her soldiers would be required to report every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe not Opera, because Opera understand that point, but like everyone else, I'm sure they've seen Luffy running around the whole of the castle and stuff. So like,
I just don't like the way that she runs her operation at all.
What do you think Pedro's going to come back? Pedro.
Peckham's. I mean, it's so tough to say. It's like the same thing with like Caesar, like when he'll come back and stuff. Because like these guys play such a will probably play like big roles later on and stuff. But like, I don't even know. Honestly, I can maybe see it like him like showing up a Capone if anything. But if not,
I think
Peckham's going to be at the wedding, bro.
Peckham's is probably going to be with Aladdin. I'm pretty sure. Like I'd bet money on him.
Yeah.
Probably, like he'll be that guy that like when it's like anyone have to object to the wedding, it'll either be him or Luffy or both of them combined, and telling them about Capone's betrayal, which will like therefore put like Luffy's crew in the good side with Big Mom.
Yeah,
I don't know, because there's too much stuff for like. There's no way that she should be happy with what.
Okay, let's say this. Let's say this, right? The whole thing of Capone, what he's doing is clearly it's a higher reward than what he's doing for the risk, which is why I say the crocodile thing. But my whole thing is no matter what he's doing, it's in order to gain a step towards being the Pirate King, no matter what. And so like most likely, it's either to steal a poneglyph or to somehow kill her off, which is going to work in his mind because Peckham's even said like you're crazy because you're going to betray Big Mom. You're underestimating her. Yeah. So I think that no matter what he's doing, he's thinking he's going to get away with it, and it's going to be such a big plan that if it did work, like it could be something like along the lines of like kidnapping Pudding, which is why I think like he's going to do.
Yeah.
That's not my point. That's my point is I don't think like you said that she'll be cool with the Straw Hats. I just don't think she should be cool with the Straw Hats no matter what happens. Like,
no, she should be because if you have two different like X factors, right, which is Luffy's crew and the Capone's crew, and what Capone's gonna do would completely fuck you over horribly. Whereas the Straw Hats is like it's fucking you over, but like you can recover from it. Which one would you be more pissed off at?
But I mean, you'd have to pick and choose though. That's my point I'm making. I mean, like obviously.
No, yeah, you'd have to choose at Capone. Like the whole thing is like Sanji's gonna probably have to like let's just say that what I'm saying is right, and somehow with Nitro Cell the Jelly, he kidnaps Capone or he kidnaps Pudding. So Capone has Pudding, which is her whole key to read the poneglyphs. So without her, the poneglyphs are completely garbage. They're just aesthetics, and so she would have to go to war with Capone. But let's say Sanji, of all people, goes and saves her like he always does, being the White Knight. Then that would kind of say, okay, I almost lost everything I had, but because of the Straw Hats, I now have it back. Therefore, I'm gonna like have it better with them. Like I think what Capone's gonna do is gonna completely outmatch in terms of like betrayal, in terms of like what it would affect Big Mom, to the point where it's like, okay, like she looks at it logically, because she even said like of all things that she's a logical thinker. Like she's okay with, like I don't think she was lying of what she was saying with not killing the Straw Hats. Like because I still think Pudding's like.
But what about her plan with the Germa?
Was it like killing himself with that?
Yeah.
No, like I don't know. I feel Judge has something in his like sleeve or whatever. Like he has some kind of crazy plan that's gonna back this up.
But
he's already planning to do that. As all
of like. Of course, Judge has a plan. If Judge doesn't have a plan, I'm done.
He's known in the underworld, whatever, to being like this like crazy assassin and stuff. A hitman, pretty much. So like,
about to have a Mexican standoff.
Yeah, it's just like this guy has something in the bag like we don't know, and it's like we're underestimating the tournament right now.
Guys,
but like
if Sanji takes another L and Judge doesn't have a plan, if Sanji takes another L and Judge doesn't have a plan, then Oda hates you.
I mean, this for me personally, I would honestly if that were to happen, like the way I would like see this arc in my rankings, it would go really low.
It's not even a possibility in my mind just because of how
exactly. Yeah, like that's the thing. Never doubt Oda.
But like, just to go back to my point, I'm just saying, like, I get what you're saying about as in, like, Capone is like what he's gonna do is gonna overshadow Luffy's. But I'm saying, like, there's no way that, like, to me, that even when the arc finishes and she's off, she's not gonna be like, fuck the Straw Hats, basically. Not like I'm gonna go try to kill them, but if they come around here, like, she's
No,
still
yeah,
gonna
like
be
if they
pissed
come
at
back,
them.
yeah, she'll probably still be pissed. But I'm saying like she'll kind of let them go in the sense of like what they did for her. Like, have you ever? No. Have you ever seen?
Nah.
Oh my God, Nikki, you're killing me. You're triggering me. Like,
Come
have
on,
you ever
Nikki.
seen? Have you ever seen, bro? Oh my God, like, I almost want to use it as a reference because like it's the newest movie I can think of. Have you ever seen that? What's that one new show on fucking Netflix? The movie with the animals. Zootopia, bro. Because everyone seen that?
I've heard of
I've
it.
never
Okay.
seen it.
So, anyways, they were making fun of like how mafia movies do it. Where like, if you do a favor for the Don, right, the top of the top guy, if you do a favor for them, even if they were pissed at you before, literally they'll let you go because like out of respect in the mafia culture, it's like you did me a solid, therefore I kind of owe you one. That's kind of how it would play out. Kind of like how she was saying, like, okay, Sanji, if you say like if you don't do anything, you don't do anything crazy to betray me, these straw
Don't let
hats.
your friends go.
Exactly. I don't think she was lying about that. I think she was 100% telling the truth. Like, if they do what, because like until Lola was mentioned, I don't think she was even that pissed. Like, she was looking at them like they were garbage. Like, these are like people that are like, you know, grains of sand to me. So like, I'm not gonna get like all like worried over it.
Yeah.
So like her getting saved again by the Straw Hats is gonna be like, okay, I now owe you one, so therefore I'm gonna let you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, well,
Nikki,
it's hard for me to see. I'm just saying because, like, to me, like, the way Big Mom is a Yonko, like the speech she made to, for example, on Fishman Island, and she was saying like she doesn't ever compromise her views. Like even if the Straw
because
Hats
that's what
save
being
her,
a
she's still
pirate is,
gonna.
bro.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like even if they save her, I still feel she's like, okay, you saved me, guys, but fuck you anyway. Like whatever. Like
I mean, like at the end of the day,
you
like the
beat
only
one of my
Yonko that Luffy should have
commanders.
some like kind of connection with has to be with Shanks. Like that's just me. Like I'd rather have him a connection with Shanks than with Big Mom.
Even Shanks wouldn't help him
Yeah,
though.
that's what I
I
mean.
think people don't
Oh, I
understand.
know.
That's
But
actually no,
I'm
he
saying if you're
shouldn't
gonna have
help him.
any
But I mean,
affiliation to them, like at least it would be with Shanks. Like it's just from an affiliation standpoint, not like an actual like alliance or whatever.
and it'll feel weird. Like I feel like Katakuri has got to be somewhere involved in like saving Big Mom, like instead of Sanji. For that example you made, I feel like Katakuri should be the one to stop that from happening. You know, because what's the point of having commanders if they don't even do anything? You know.
Yeah.
Or
So yeah, to me,
Smoothie,
like Capone
actually.
would be a better like option if anything.
We'll talk about more.
But I guess we
after
can
Nikki.
just agree to disagree. I guess.
No, Nikki. There's no degree to disagree. I'm gonna tell you. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Not kidding.
Nah, I'm not kidding either. You're wrong.
I don't know if you guys
Nikki.
saw in the comment section, Madara Limbu was saying, like, remember how Capone was sucked into by the floating island? And what if that island belonged to a three-eyed tribe? And that's how, like, you know, they survived, and that's when the meeting came in between them.
I think there's on that island with Capone. There's so many like for people that like know about Skypiea and the arc of the old lady, right? From what's now Rubber Band Land. So the one that would take pictures, there was a woman, remember, that looked just like her. I'm not saying she's Skypian, but it looked just like her selling fucking selling umbrellas, bro. Like I think there are some similarities to those characters.
Yeah.
And so like I don't know. I think it could be like the original thing was like okay, it's probably related to Enel, right?
Yeah.
And I still think it's a heavy possibility. That might be like Enel's like secret island or some crazy shit. Because it's been 2 years and we don't know if he's even still on the moon. Like in like I don't know. I think it's in relation to Enel.
I mean, yeah, like I don't know. Like for me, it's like I wouldn't doubt like Germa whatsoever, but like yeah, they have to have something crazy, especially like you know how things are going right now for them.
Yeah.
I mean, like we have to see what them fight soon, to be honest, because like it's starting. Like how many? We're only a few chapters, or like not a few chapters, but this arc's gonna finish fairly soon now. So it's like if we don't see stuff like picking up between Germa and Caesar and Peckham's, like it's gonna be weird, essentially.
I mean,
yeah,
like, we'll still get them. Like
we'll see. Like it's gonna be something probably where it's gonna get because like for instance, Oda's slowly like getting the Straw Hats back together, which is why we're gonna go up to Sanji and Luffy next. We're probably gonna get the Bobin fight. And after they get them, I'm sure they'll probably say like something along the lines of like, okay, like now we actually have to go and like get Caesar or something like that back because he is important.
Yeah.
And so like I don't know, we'll obviously we'll eventually get Caesar. I don't think Peckham's is going to come into the story until Aladdin is reshown and until like the very actual wedding day comes. Because I still think the wedding is going to go down. Like I get why people say it's not, but like I still think it has to. Yeah. It'd be like not going to Wano after all the like the beginning of the arc where like we get hyped to go to Wano.
Yeah.
This entire build up for this chapter is gonna be for the wedding.
Yeah.
It's the climax of the arc.
Like the thing is that to me, it's like the only way I can see it happening now, especially with Sanji and Bobin's, could potentially be a fight going on. Is like if someone's gonna intervene, like be able to like stop them, because like they legit have everything they need to escape. All they like the only thing that stops them is if someone powerful enough is able to stop everything.
What if Lola comes in? You know, throws a coup and take it over now.
I would die if I think Lola or Big Mom, or Bonnie could show up this arc just because like they need to come back to the story soon, and like it would make the most sense in this arc for them to come back. I feel like. So yeah, I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I think I don't. Cause actually, yeah. To be honest, because I think Bonnie is part of the. She might be a daughter of Big Mom, so that makes sense.
I don't see Bonnie.
I mean, like I like it's something that I wouldn't mind seeing, but like I don't want it to be like shown up just like out of nowhere. But the fact that we haven't even seen like who the first daughter is, it leaves that possibility open.
Yeah, I don't see Bonnie coming.
Does she fit the age even?
I mean, she's supposed to be chronologically, she's supposed to be 22, but like I don't know. I still say like she probably is 22. It's just like the power of her fruits.
Anything else you guys want to like? Well, I guess like what predictions directly for next chapter do you guys have?
I mean, I could definitely see Sanji versus Bobin's happening, and then probably at the very end, someone's gonna stop it, and like then like we're gonna go right into the wedding, like you know, like the night before, like the last hour before like the day begins for the day of the wedding.
Okay.
I think Sanji is gonna give Luffy the food, and I think they're gonna double team Bobin.
Oh god.
No. I think that Bobin's gonna do something with the food, and that makes Sanji so upset that he will kick him to shit, and then he has to go back to the. He takes probably Luffy with him, and he has to go back to the kitchen or somewhere to cook some proper meal for Luffy.
Okay.
I mean, like, I don't know. I personally think that we're gonna end up seeing the fight with them, but like, do you think like Sanji? Let's say like again, like how everyone was saying, but like you know, if he gets like really pissed off afterwards, right? Does he kill him? Like,
no.
Because I know obviously because of One Piece, like we haven't seen any death in a bit, and I like with this arc, we like especially with the stakes that are up at hand right now, kind of need to see some death very soon to like take this really seriously. Like we're in the new world, you know, like
it happening here wouldn't mean anything, you know.
I think
it wouldn't, but it's like if we're like to take this seriously and to say like this is the new world, like you can't just fucking like you know mess around thinking that stealth is gonna help you. Like you're gonna have to see some death, right, to show like this is a place you can't like you know like it's what kids said. It's like you know if you don't have what it takes to be here, you should go back in paradise. And like right now, that's starting to not look like you know it's whatever.
That's why I think Judge,
especially in a young
Yeah, it's like bro, like people should be dying left and right. Like I liked it when we seen like you know Big Mom actually killed one of her own kids. Like that's like holy shit. Like that kid ain't coming back. So it was just like you know I'm happy Oda did that. It wouldn't be so stupid. Like oh I just smacked the shit out of him. Like he's out cold for the rest of the arc. That would have been so stupid. Like when we saw that, it was great. Now we need to see like I like the idea. People are saying too that like you know Big Mom could potentially kill Capone when she finds out like he's a traitor, which will show it's like you know doesn't matter what you plan, what you try, like you're going to die if you fuck with Big Mom or Yonko in general.
I think Judge.
This is the difference. Like
Judge and Jinbei, they're gonna die.
Like honestly, I just do feel like
Jinbei to die so bad, Nikki.
No, I don't want him to die. I'm just saying.
It makes sense. No, you do.
No, okay, fine. It makes sense. It makes sense to me is how they're gonna get off the island as Jinbei sacrifices himself. Like this is the perfect time for him to do something like that. That's what I'm saying.
Oda didn't the perfect time for Jinbei to be the GOAT and like help him get away and still survive. You know, like come on.
I think Pedro would make more sense, but I wouldn't see being Jinbei, especially now we know that he didn't even spin the wheel. Like,
yeah, I was gonna
that's
say
my point. That's why it makes no sense. He didn't spin the wheel.
No, because if he spun the wheel and stuff, like it's like okay, whatever. Like you're not gonna get your life span back anytime soon. Unless you're killing Big Mom or like knocking her out, that's not happening.
I got a question. How many kids does Big Mom have?
She had like 30
over
something.
No, she had way more. I thought it was
100
100
something. It was over 100. It was over 100. Yeah,
I think it's like 80 something.
But actually, her kids, because for example, Pudding is not really her kid.
I mean, like, do you think that's the case?
Though.
No, there's I like remember how I was joking about the bird thing and like how like there are actual animals that will like drop off their kids to others. I think it could be something along the lines of like it's possible that she's not in the sense that like she could manipulate her memory fruit with Big Mom's memories to thinking that she was a kid.
Yeah.
But the one thing I would say against that is like if you look back where that little girl Anana, right, the pineapple, when she had the kitchen or she was trying to get the kitchen knives for her little stuffed animal. And like Dolan and Dolan were like saying like, oh, like don't give it to her because like she's crazy. Like I kind of felt like that was
one of Big Mom's kids.
But I thought that looked a lot like Pudding, like as she was a child. It looked very similar to her.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe that's
it would be her sister, wouldn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Like
I mean, I thought it would be one dog though.
Okay. But no, like I thought, I think Pudding, like I'm on the fence right now with whether or not she could be the dog. Like it would make sense that she has more use to her memory fruit than just doing like things for Big Mom. Because like how I see it is like she's a three-eyed member, right? So like this means if Big Mom is, or sorry, if Pudding really is Big Mom's daughter, right? Then literally like she would have had another three-eyed race. But why would she let the regular three-eyed race go if she like could have used that person as the husband? So I feel like it's possible that Pudding, as a kind of like how Nico Robin did it, as like a child that was wanted by everyone, she kind of like used her powers to stay in good terms with a strong Yonko, to stay away from like government use and all that other stuff. So I think it's possible because the three-eyed race, I wouldn't be surprised if they were like genocide style, like from world government, because like they can be used to read the poneglyphs. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they were like killed off. And so it would make sense if she's a hybrid that like she's literally like under Big Mom, like as using her as protection. I don't know. It's up in the air for me, but like I'm kind of hoping it's that way because I want to see more use of her devil fruit.
Yeah, and plus she's only half like three-eyed tried. Like she has the eye, but it doesn't mean she'll probably have the power.
By the way, guys, what do you think What do you think if one of a Germa jumped into Sanji's fight, like Ichiji, Niji, or Yonji?
Like for or against Sanji?
Like they could maybe say for it. Like they could pretend like they're trying to help him out and stuff to calm the situation, but in reality they're gonna try and use them against them.
I don't know. I don't want Sanji to get.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't want to take another L, but I want him to win. But
I don't want Sanji to get any help at all, no matter what. That's how I see it. If you're in the New World, bro, I don't care. Like their whole goal for training was to fight the Yonko, not to just. I'm not saying they're gonna beat them, but I'm saying it was to do that. Like, so if you can't even take out a minister, a bishop, bro, and you're the third of the monster trio, like, come on, like you get out of the monster trio, like let Usopp up in there.
Exactly. Right, Usopp has the bounty to prove it too now.
Yep, right.
I didn't say it. Hey, the Marines are the ones who started.
We can't do this argument here, man.
Yeah,
you got me to fourth. You got me to fourth, DGK.
But you want to save the debate then, I guess?
But
yeah, probably, maybe.
But anything else you guys want to say? Because I can't think of anything else to really talk about on the chapter. It was another good chapter, but I think it was another build-up chapter for what's to come. Like, I think we're gonna get slow build-up chapters until we start seeing fights back to back to back. Like, because obviously the Germa's doing something. I doubt they're getting like completely wasted, like, and they're gonna be of no use. I think they're getting like intel planning and shit like that. And obviously they're gonna probably go and see Reiju. So like, I don't know.
I mean, personally, for me, I think for a prediction for next week, like whatever big thing we're gonna get next week, we're probably gonna go on break right after.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
we'll probably see Bobin meet hopefully we see Bobin meet fucking Sanji in the open battlefield. We'll probably get an apology chapter for half of that shit. Like half the pages will be like that.
Yeah.
Take me back.
I'm
sorry. Eat the food.
Tell me you want the food.
Or Oda might be a troll though, and just go all the way to. I think I'm more interested in what Germa's doing right now, to be honest, than what's happening with Sanji and Bobin, because I think they have to be planning. They have.
I'm saying now. Like I go against my thing I said before, but if they have that Buster call waiting, I mean, like I'm just saying.
No Buster call. Oh my god.
I mean,
that's a good theory to my opinion.
Couldn't it be that they already planning something with Caesar together?
Dan. Last night.
Not sure.
What?
Over Big Mom.
Oh no, that was bad.
So I won't talk
don't.
I'm not gonna talk about on stream because that's but that's what I thought of. Okay. So anything else you guys want to say? Otherwise, I'm gonna probably end it here.
I mean,
that was fun.
I mean, of course,
Oh, yeah.
like the stream. Make sure to
Yeah.
subscribe. Next week's gonna be probably more lit, so stay tuned for that. We might be doing a side voyage or a debate tomorrow, so stay tuned to the Discord. And we're gonna see about Kingdom this weekend or next weekend, just because it's such a big arc. And I probably gonna want to talk about it for like a long ass time. So stay tuned on the Discord, because that's where you should get all the news from us.
All right.
Hey.
Like the stream, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
People, and don't underestimate Big Mom's strength, guys. We see her like lotus palming the fucking ground and shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Like she's a beast. A beast.
Like the stream, guys.
And fuck Bobin.
Hey, don't talk about Bobin.
Yeah, fuck Bobin.
Hey, okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Leave Bobin's name out of this, okay? All I'm saying is leave. I'm just. It's unfair that he's fighting Sanji. I hate this. Okay. Damn.
I'll let you for you guys' outro.
Oh yeah, Stebo.
Yeah.
Disperse. Dun,
Peace.
dun, 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 dun.